So I'm Shaista Mallik. I'm an industry principal for oil and gas at Seeq. And in my role, I really work closely with operations, process engineers, digital transformation leaders across four different areas within oil and gas. So that's upstream, midstream, downstream, and LNG. And it's mainly to help them find more value from time series and operational data. My background really sits at the intersection of process engineering and analytics. I've been in the industry now for 12 plus years, and I am a chemical engineer by education, but I've worked predominantly in process heavy industries and industrial automation. So my background is in product development and product management in that space. And at Seek, as I mentioned before, I'm an industry principal for oil and gas. Um, I'm really, focused on understanding how analytics actually changes the decision making and decision intelligence on anywhere from the process engineering aspect of, say, a given refinery, to a control room, to even understanding, on the asset and reliability side, how we can work from bringing the data into actionable insights for the team and actions to take based on root cause analysis and drilling down to what the data is giving us directionally. So at Seek, I spend most of the time helping customers with the data they already have in every sort of data source: historians, lab systems, maintenance records, SCADA systems, and then into insights that will eventually translate into key outcomes from the business. So anything regarding, say, energy efficiency or asset health optimization or uptime for equipment, to production uplift, margin uplift. It could be a range of outcomes that we're focusing on. So, what excites me about the topics to be explored at the summit? Honestly, what excites me is that the advisory committee has framed the agenda around the hard questions, not the easy ones. So, the four themes for this year are digital transformation and data optimization, AI and predictive maintenance, IoT and cybersecurity, and scaling with legacy technology. This is exactly where the conversation with our customers um, are having internally right now, and where they are in decision making. So I'll kind of pick at the fourth theme that I just mentioned. And it particularly resonates with me because scaling data and AI projects alongside legacy infrastructure is really where Seek is currently focusing on, and especially when it comes to value delivery for our customers and users. Our industry has no shortage of successful pilots, and the question that keeps operators, up at night is how to take something that works for one compressor, one well pad, or at one refinery unit up, and roll it across an entire fleet or to multiple sites. And without ripping out the control systems that have run reliability for 30 years. Um, that's where I think the real value is being unlocked over the next 2 to 3 years. And it's a foundational level setting before we apply anything that is, say, AI related. And I'm genuinely excited, though, about the AI and predictive maintenance themes. We're past the hype phase. And that's why I was speaking more about, laying the foundation so that when AI is applied, it is applied on reliable data and systems set in place. The conversation, I think, has shifted from operationalizing models at scale to building trust with engineering teams and proving our return on investment. And those are the conversations where I think we'll see the most honest, useful exchanges within the summit. So, what do I see as the biggest challenges affecting the industry over the next 12 months? So here I, really point to three, and they map very closely to the themes of the summit that we just covered. The first is the gap between pilot and enterprise scale. Most operators have proven AI and advanced analytics can deliver value. The challenge now is governance, architecture, and change management and alignment across OT, so operational technology and IT um, teams. So it's really the unglamorous part and foundation that determines whether a successful pilot becomes a fleet-wide or site across site capability or stays in a one-off success story or use case. The second is the workforce. A significant share of experienced engineers are retiring, and the knowledge they carry, what normal actually looks like given a certain asset or unit operation or key process, is walking out the door. And we've been talking about this for the last few years as well. Digital tools have to do two things at once. They have to capture that expertise before it leaves and empower the next generation or the workforce that's coming in of engineers to act on data without needing a dedicated data science team behind it and building that up. And the third is balancing the energy transition with current production demands. Operations and operators are being asked to improve margin on existing hydrocarbon assets while also investing in decarbonization and and also with methane reduction, and in some cases, entirely new business lines like carbon capture or hydrogen coming up now. So doing both well requires very different analytics capabilities and more agility than most data architectures were originally designed for, because they were designed for production processes mainly. So underneath all three, though, the common thread of the cybersecurity element is rising fast. As assets get more connected, the attack surface grows, and the industry's risk tolerance for OT incidents is essentially zero. That tension between connectivity and security is going to, define a lot of architecture decisions over the next year, and I would say the next 3 to 5 year horizon. So, the question is, can I share any examples from my own projects where automation or digitalization has improved the sector? So, there's definitely a lot I can share here, but I'll kind of zone into two examples that illustrate different parts of the value chain within oil and gas and different industries like midstream versus upstream. So the first one is actually an upstream example where an upstream operator was dealing with unplanned downtime on rotating equipment, especially ESPs. By bringing historian data, maintenance records, and process context into a self-service analytics environment, their reliability engineers were able to build early warning indicators that gave them days to weeks of lead time before failure. What made it work wasn't the algorithm itself, but it was the engineers who knew the assets best, could build, test, and refine the monitoring themselves without waiting on a central data science queue or system in place for, a back-end data science and ML team. And that's the predictive maintenance made, exemplified as I spoke about earlier. AI was in the hands of the subject matter expert, not siloed in a different support team and not just a tack on chatbot to do that root cause analysis and then bring those reliability issues to surface and then the actions that needed to be taken to resolve those issues. And then the second example is on the emissions side. So here, a midstream customer was struggling with reconciling continuous emissions monitoring data with operational events to identify the root cause of flaring excursions. So correlating process upsets with emission spikes in their time series analytics platform within Seeq, and they were able to target a handful of operational changes that materially reduced flaring volume and tightened up their regulatory reporting. That one cut across two themes, really that's, we talked about operational excellence and then decarbonization. So what I think reflects, the industry, where the industry is heading. The same digital foundations have to serve both production and sustainability outcomes. So both results are a byproduct of implementing this solution. And what's consistent, I would say, even across these just two examples we have, is that technology isn't the hero. The hero is really the engineer who has the tools to test out the hypotheses in um, in the tool itself instead of waiting for months to do this either manually or through different departments. And for me, that's really what it means to have digitalization in practice to improve the day-to-day workflow for the subject matter expert at our users or customer site. Well, I'm really excited that Seek Corporation, we're taking part in Digital Oil and Gas Summit. And you can really come to us, stop by with our team. We will have a group of solution consulting as well as our analytics engineering group. They are the technical powerhouse of knowing exactly what operational issues or production issues you're running into and really elevating that up to the type of solution to implement, as well as the type of outcome that you're looking for your business to accomplish. So please come to us. Aside from specifics, we really want to engage with you and try to understand what you do and learn more about your business, along with how C can be a partner potentially for you long term.